This market is competitive. This is the top 10 strategies to getting your offer accepted. I've seen a few agents that do some of them. I've seen other agents that pick and choose a few of them. But nobody does them all, and our team absolutely does our top 2. Stick around and check them out. Number 10. The listing agent is the gatekeeper to this transaction. It's imperative that your agent understands that. Sellers look to their listing agent for guidance. If they have one offer or two offer, they're going to counter them. However, if they are overwhelmed with 7, 8, 9, 10 offers, they're going to ask their agent for help. That's the agent's job. And if that agent has a good relationship with your agent, the buyer's agent, it's more likely that your offer is going to get accepted. Therefore, it's imperative that the buyer's agent understands how the listing agent wants to communicate, whether that's via text or email or wants phone calls or has some certain system for how the offer needs to be submitted. Again, not something that's super important for you as a buyer to know, but absolutely very important for your agent to know. Number 9. Understand that the seller may not counter all of the offers that they receive. Yes, if they receive 2 or 3 offers, likely they're going to send out 2 or 3 counter offers. But if they receive 14 offers, they likely aren't going to send out 14 counter offers. Typically, they'll send out 2, maybe 3 at most. So if you're in a position where you're thinking, hey, let's play a little game, we're willing to go to 750, let's start at 700, then that way we can show the seller that we're willing to come up 50 grand, don't do it. Don't play the game. Come in strong from the get-go, recognize that there will only be a certain amount of counteroffers that go out. Number 8, don't pick a round number. If a property is listed at 700, I promise you they're getting offers at 690, 695, 700, 705, 710. Sometimes an offer of 711, 262 is enough to put you over the top. Especially in a counteroffer situation where a seller goes back with a new counter, a multiple counter, whether asking for highest and best or a new number, just getting off that round number can absolutely be a tipping point. And personalize it. If your wedding anniversary is on a certain date, if you had a child born on a certain date, March 19th ended in 319. 711-319, something like that can not only personalize it and make it fun, but also gets you off a round number. Number 7, contingencies. So a buyer typically has several contingencies that are in place. One, of course, is the inspection contingency, that they're going to review the property and make sure that everything is good with it. Have a home inspector come out, have a termite inspector come out, plumbers, etc. That's a contingency. There are other contingencies that if you're securing financing, that the property has an appraisal, that we have a loan contingency, HOA documents, seller disclosures, and on and on. Recognize that the time frames for those you can shorten and some you can waive in their entirety. By doing so, it absolutely strengthens your offer and is definitely something to consider. Number 6. Recognize that things that don't appear on the contract also influence the seller's ability or the seller's choice in which offer they choose. Here's an example. If I'm representing a seller and you see the property on Friday and you think on it Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then write us an offer on Tuesday, I'm concerned. Even if you come in with a good price, it makes me wonder, why did it take so long? Also see it in the counteroffer stages. In those stages, when a seller provides a multiple counteroffer saying, hey, I want a response by Tuesday and it's Sunday, sometimes it's a great time to show and be decisive and show that you want the property right away. If a counter comes on Sunday, if a counter comes on a certain date, don't sit on it excessively long. Remember that you still have some contingencies in place, most likely, and that can be a time where you can process more information. Number 5, escalation clauses. This absolutely relates back to the listing agent in number 10 and their style of communication. An escalation clause is typically something that, like, buyer agrees to beat any other offer by $2,500 up to $851,272 with proof of another offer. It's basically something that is in place that is you showing the seller, hey, we'll beat any other offer up to some cap, with proof of another offer. Now, not every seller, not every listing agent is receptive to it. So it's imperative that you understand that your agent has communicated to the listing agent and that we can know whether the seller is receptive to it. Number 4, earnest money deposit. Typically, an earnest money deposit is between 1% and 3% of the purchase price. This money, if you have contingencies in place, is refundable within the contingency period. Therefore, be on the high side. Come in aggressive. Come in at 2.5%, 3%, 4% and put that money into escrow. It's just another thing that reinforces to the seller that you are serious about it. Number 3, leaseback. It's important to know what terms are important to the seller. And sometimes price is near the top, but it may not be the top. Sometimes sellers are concerned about where they're going to go or how they're going to be able to figure out closing escrow and then trying to pack up and move. Offering a leaseback is a great solution. And don't get too caught up in the PITI having the seller pay you rent. Typically, as an example, if PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, basically your whole mortgage payment is $3,000 and the seller is going to stay for 2 months, don't fight over $6,000. Work it into your offer and then offer a free leaseback. This is something that psychologically just makes your offer seem stronger and smoother. These last 2, I've seen a lot of agents that have done some of the other ones that we've mentioned here, in our top 8, we'll call it. These last 2, nobody does, and only we do it. And what I would like to do is I would like to offer it to you exclusively and privately. Please reach out to me and I'll be happy to share the top 2 ways that we at our team have had a high success rate in getting offers accepted. It's competitive out there, but there's great opportunity, and with some strategies in place, you can absolutely build wealth through home ownership.